In the universe of Dragon Ball Z, few figures strike as much fear and awe as Frieza. With his cold demeanor and ruthless ambition, he stands as a formidable antagonist driven by a singular need: control. But what lies beneath this unyielding exterior? Today, we unravel the dark layers of Frieza's psyche to understand the motivations that propel his relentless pursuit of power. By examining his core Enneagram type, we begin to see Frieza as a Type 8, the challenger, characterized by a fear of being controlled or harmed by others. This fear manifests in an insatiable desire for dominance and strength, a survival rule that dictates his every move. Frieza's core desire is autonomy and control over his environment. In the chaotic world he inhabits, control equates to safety, a notion deeply ingrained in his psyche from a young age. Born into a galactic empire ruled by his father, King Cold, Frieza quickly learned that power and respect were the currency of survival. The formative ecosystem of his early life, marked by familial expectations and intergalactic politics, taught him that to maintain his position, he must be the strongest, a lesson that echoes throughout his reign of terror. The relationships that Frieza cultivates early on serve to reinforce his strategies of fear and dominance. Characters like the Saiyans and the Ginyu Force become instrumental in his hierarchy, rewarding his ruthlessness and expanding his empire. However, these same relationships also expose his vulnerabilities. Vegeta, for instance, represents both a tool and a threat, essential yet potentially subversive. Frieza's interactions with Vegeta are rife with manipulation, betrayal, and a constant balancing act between trust and control. These dynamics highlight a crucial aspect of Frieza's psychological landscape: the mask of invincibility he wears to shield his underlying fears. As we follow Frieza's chronological arc, every significant event ties back to his core motive. His confrontation with Goku, for example, is more than a battle of strength. It is a symbolic clash of ideologies. Goku's unwavering determination and growth challenge Frieza's static belief in inherent superiority. This rivalry forces Frieza to confront his fears head-on, ultimately pushing him to evolve, or risk destruction. However, Frieza's rigidity often blinds him to change, leading to his downfall and subsequent resurrection, each iteration offering a chance for growth, yet often reverting to old patterns. The shadow side of Frieza's Enneagram type is evident in his inability to embrace vulnerability. By equating control with security, Frieza neglects the softer aspects of his personality that could lead to genuine strength and resilience. His growth potential lies in integrating his shadow self, which involves acknowledging his fears without being ruled by them. True growth for Frieza would mean transforming his defensive aggression into authentic leadership, where power is derived not from domination, but from self-assuredness and adaptability. Frieza's journey is a cautionary tale about the dangers of mistaking control for security. His need for constant proof of superiority is a double-edged sword, granting power but also perpetuating isolation and fear. As viewers, we are invited to reflect on our own lives. Do we, like Frieza, cling to control as a means of safety, or can we find security in vulnerability and connection? This exploration of Frieza's psyche offers a mirror, encouraging us to question the survival rules we live by and whether they truly serve our growth or hinder it. In examining Frieza's motivations through the lens of the Enneagram and Jungian archetypes, we gain a deeper understanding of the forces that drive him and, by extension, the universal themes of power, fear, and growth that resonate within us all. Frieza's story is as much about his internal struggle as it is about his external conquests, urging us to consider: what does it truly mean to be strong? Strength in the universe of Dragon Ball is often defined by brute force and sheer power, yet Frieza's arc compels us to reconsider this simplistic view. His repeated failures and resurrections serve not only as plot devices, but as pivotal moments for potential transformation. Each revival is an opportunity for introspection, a chance to recalibrate his approach to power and existence. Yet, Frieza often defaults to his entrenched habits, illustrating a critical aspect of his Enneagram Type 8 personality: the fear of being controlled or harmed. His relentless quest for dominance is a shield against this fear, yet it simultaneously limits his potential for genuine growth and fulfillment. In the realm of archetypes, Frieza embodies the shadow, an embodiment of repressed instincts and unacknowledged forces. His interactions with Goku, Vegeta, and even his own subordinates expose his inner conflicts. For instance, his inability to understand Goku's seemingly naive compassion and relentless pursuit of self-improvement highlights Frieza's own struggle with vulnerability and empathy. He perceives these qualities as weaknesses rather than strengths, which further entrenches him in a cycle of aggression and isolation. The climax of Frieza's psychological journey often unfolds in moments where he faces defeat or betrayal. In these instances, the facade of invincibility cracks, leaving him exposed to the very vulnerabilities he seeks to deny. One could argue that his resurrection by the Dragon Balls, a repeated motif, symbolizes a rebirth, a chance to embrace his shadow and achieve a more holistic form of strength. Yet his resistance to embracing change speaks to a deeper, existential fear that mirrors the human condition: the fear of losing one's identity through transformation. These narrative beats invite us to reflect on the paradox of strength as depicted through Frieza's character. Strength, as Frieza believes, is about control and domination. Yet the universe of Dragon Ball suggests an alternative: strength through connection, understanding, and the courage to evolve. Goku, embodying the hero archetype, acts as the catalyst for this realization, but Frieza's stubborn adherence to his destructive patterns highlights the challenge of integrating one's shadow. Moreover, Frieza's interactions within the ecosystem of his empire reveal a fascinating dynamic of power and fear. His rule is maintained through terror and force, yet this approach breeds contempt and fear rather than loyalty and respect. Herein lies a lesson in leadership, reflective of the king archetype's shadow side. Ruling through fear creates a brittle foundation, susceptible to collapse. This is evident in the rebellion and betrayal he faces from within, showing that true leadership requires not just power, but also wisdom and compassion. The tension between Frieza's potential for growth and his cyclical return to destructive habits serves as a compelling narrative of resistance to change, a theme that resonates deeply with the human psyche. We are reminded of the Enneagram's insight into stress and growth spirals. Under stress, Frieza's behavior spirals into the unhealthy aspects of a Type 5, withdrawing into isolation and paranoia. Yet, his growth path suggests a movement towards the healthier traits of a Type 2, where he could find strength in relationships and support, a path he seldom explores. These insights invite viewers to contemplate their own life patterns. Are we, like Frieza, trapped in cycles of behavior that no longer serve us, clinging to outdated beliefs about what it means to be powerful or successful? Or can we learn to integrate the shadow aspects of our personalities, embracing vulnerability as a source of true strength? Frieza's character arc, with its rich psychological layers and archetypal undertones, offers a profound commentary on the human experience. It challenges us to look beyond the surface of conflict and power struggles to the deeper, more nuanced battles within. His journey is a reminder that true strength lies not in the denial of our weaknesses, but in the integration of all aspects of the self. As we watch Frieza navigate his turbulent path, we are left to ponder our definitions of strength and power, and how these definitions shape the worlds we create and inhabit.